All right, folks, a lot of you know this by now, I'm sure. I'm a little bit late to it, but it looks like the first look at Robert Downing Jr. as Doctor Doom has leaked onto the internet, like so many other things like to leak onto the internet. Interesting. Listen, I am not casting any firm and conclusive judgment on the Doctor Doom costume coming in a new Avengers Doomsday movie until I see actual pictures presented to us from Marvel or one of these people associated with Marvel that are associated with the movie. Typically, a lot of the times, the director might do it on their Twitter or Instagram or whatever. And I need to see a trailer. But based off what I'm looking at right here, you know, there's no context involved with this. Because if you were to tell me this is going to be the definitive suit that he has, I'm going to be like, well, I don't like it. Because I think it's missing some very important things that a Doctor Doom character / costume should have. You need the green tunic over the body armor, and you need the cloak. Well, the cloak is there. He just has it down. And you need the mask. So I need to see full armor, cloak, and mask on is what I need to see. Because you know how these movies are sometimes. They'll show up and then they won't have the full suit on. And then for the final battle, you know, he'll come out with the tunic and then a mask. And everybody's like, here he goes, here he goes, here it is. He put the mask. Ah! You know, like how in Deadpool and Wolverine, we didn't get the full experience till that battle with all the multiverse Deadpools. And then he puts the mask on and the sleeves are already torn off. And it's like, here it is. We waited for this moment in full costume. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. He looks like this, the final battle, and then he comes out with full armor on. You know what? As long as it's a good chunky length we get with him in full costume, I'm okay with it. But I can't imagine that this is the definitive version. They will be doing this character a huge disservice if they go his whole tenure in this movie without putting a cloak on and a mask. Seriously. And of course, another question is the dent there in his chest, right? That's normally where Iron Man's arc reactor goes. So, which leads more people to think maybe this is a variant. But I don't know. We shall see. Interesting, to say the least. I know there's all kinds of iterations and different costumes of Doctor Doom and variants through the comics. And people are like, well, which one do you choose? Which one do you choose? Which one do you choose? Listen, as long as you give him the armor, the cloak and cape, and the tunic and the mask, the little details on how you fine-tune each of those articles of clothing and armor is up to you. But as long as you have those essential pieces, I'm good. You want to put the little puffy things on the shoulder? Be my guest. You want a more royal cape or overcoat? Be my guest. You want to put the little dangly things on the tunic? Be my guest. But these articles of clothing at their base, at their core, need to be on Doctor Doom. And then just make it look good after that. We good. So, like I said, I'm taking this without context and a grain of salt. If this is in fact legitimate, I don't know where this leaked from. I don't know who leaked it, but we live in the age of AI, so who knows anymore. I'm going to tell you what, at first, when I saw the picture, I'm not going to lie. I thought this was from James Gunn's Superman movie. I thought this was Jor-El. It looks like it could be Jor-El, Superman's father. That was my first thought. And then I was like, oh wait, is this Star Wars? It looks like Hamill. It looks like Luke Skywalker. That is where my mind immediately went to. And then I was like, wait, it's supposed to be RDJ as Doctor Doom? Dude, I'm not going to lie. The first thing was Jor-El. Jor-El of Krypton. And you know how with these movies, especially Marvel movies, what I hope they don't do with Doctor Doom's mask, don't make it any nanotech or magic, or because Doctor Doom does have magic, okay? He has magic abilities. However, don't make that stupid nanotech where the mask appears and disappears. Please, give him something he can put on that tangible, feels more real. That's going to be so much better. And then it's just so much more, what's the word I want to use? And it's just so much more breathtaking and cinematic when you have those instances of him taking the mask off, or when the battle's about to start, you see him putting the mask on, and it's like, oh, it's go time. You know, you get a certain feeling in those moments of transition. So please, no magical or, you know, technological nano crap, off on. Please, no. No, not for Doctor Doom. Please, no. I know he's advanced as hell, but please, no. And don't give us a lot of time with Doctor Doom with his mask off. And I know, I get it. Robert Downey Jr. is the actor, so you have to see his face. I get it. But when it comes to Doom, the character, you don't need to see his face to feel the acting, the power of the acting prowess. You don't. Not for Doom, no. He's cold. He's cold as hell. I just need to see his eyes through those slits in the mask, deliver the script appropriately, tonally, and he will have the hair standing on your skin, bone chilling. I'm telling you, that's how you deliver Doom. Doom is a menace. My favorite villain of all time. DC or Marvel. Like, Doctor Doom is my guy. Please don't mess this up. But I have faith in Marvel. Let me take that back. I have faith in Disney Marvel, the MCU, when it comes to these character designs and costumes. For the most part, they have been on the money. Especially when it comes to the villains. They have been on the money. I got to give it to them. And make the armor feel real. Not too much CGI. You know, do a CGI layer, you know, but not over the top. Make it look more like Iron Man's suit. Not Iron Man's suit, but comparing Iron Man's suit in the first Iron Man movie to what you get in like Infinity Wars and Endgame. The Infinity Wars and Endgame version looks fake. You can tell it's CGI. As opposed to the one in the original Iron Man movie, it looks more realistic. It does. And I get the context behind it, but still, one looks much more real than the other. That's all I'm saying. But like I said, we're missing a lot of context. We still don't know a lot about the movie. We practically don't know, much about the movie, period. We still don't know if this is Victor Von Doom or is this a Tony Stark variant. Yeah, we don't know these details. So once we find out more about that, I think things will start making more sense. But, like I said, I take this with a grain of salt. Leaked image, no context, and I can't imagine they're going to deliver this as our final Doom. It wouldn't make any sense. It would be a travesty to the character if they did. Anyway, y'all sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. That's all I got to say about it. That's a wrap for today's episode. I appreciate each and every one of you for stepping in, showing your love, showing your support, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Now, I could sit here and smack you all around with the generic like, comment, subscribe BS, but nobody gives a damn about that. So do whatever the hell you want to do, because you're going to do it anyway. Now, I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead. I am Boo, and I am out.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.